Welcome to the program. This is What's Your Story? My name is Catherine Mwangi. For the last 3.5 months, we've traversed the coastal region in Kilifi County, Mombasa County. There's somewhere else we went. Millicent, where was it? Kisumu County. Well, that was before. That was like maybe the last 6 months. We've just been all over everywhere else apart from Nairobi, and now we're back in Nairobi County. And to kickstart our stories here, it's Maryanne Njambi. She reached out to me on Instagram sometime late last year, wanting to share the story of loss. And this is something you want to listen to because just a wrong diagnosis of her daughter led to her losing her. And it's a painful story, but one that has lots of lessons, and she's so willing to share it. So come with me, let's hear what happened, and also let's get to know what happens during the grieving process of a mother who wishes she could have done more. Thank you for joining us today on What's Your Story? We're with Maryanne Njambi, and she has a sad but also powerful story to share with the rest of us. So Maryanne, you reached out to me on Instagram. First of all, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yo, karibu sana.
Thank you.
So you reached out to me and you wanted to share your story.
Yes, I did.
And when first I read what it was, I was like, wow, okay, you actually want to share that story.
Yes.
Okay.
As part of the healing, basically. Yes, the more you talk about it, the more you heal.
Okay.
Yes.
And you help other parents as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
But before we get there, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Okay, I'm Maryanne Njambi. Those are my full names. I'm a mother of two, one who's an angel, she was 20, and another 13-year-old. They're both girls.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a single mother. I'm a plus-size model.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm a hustler,
Oh.
basically.
Where do you model? Tell me about that.
I model for different fashion houses, so I'm freelance. Yes,
nice.
I'm not based in one place.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've done that for how long?
This is the 3rd year.
Nice.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your story about your daughter.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Okay, she started falling ill when she was 15. She had a very healthy childhood. So when she was 15, she came back from a church camp, which had lasted for a week. When she came back, she was coughing like the cough was not going away. So you're like, okay, you try drugs, you assume like it will isha. So we bought drugs, she took antibiotics, but still it didn't go away. So we took action when she drastically lost weight. She actually lost a lot of weight, like over 20 kgs. Yes.
For a 15-year-old?
Yes, for a 15-year-old,
Yeah.
then you're like, it's so alarming.
Yeah.
So that's when she went for like a sputum test and then some x-rays. Then they diagnosed her with TB for the lungs, yeah? So she started on TB drugs, which she took for the first 6 months. After 6 months, it still didn't go away. They said it relapsed. So after relapsing, she took drugs for 6 more months. And basically, we were told, like, she's not supposed to take, like, after exceeding 6 months.
Oh, for TB?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was a total of 1 year, you see.
Yeah.
So the more she took the drugs, the more they damaged her.
Okay.
So after 1 year, the drugs damaged her lungs, which made her have holes.
In her
So
lungs?
they were actually filled with holes. So that's, you see, that's another diagnosis. It was called aspergillosis. So after that, we discovered like we can't treat it. The doctors were direct, it can't be treated. So we were just managing.
Why? It's untreatable?
It's untreatable because you see holes.
Huh.
Yeah. They had suggested like whatever, what do you call it, a lung transplant. But they checked her oxygen levels.
They were very low.
They were very low. She could have even died earlier. So we were managing everyday drugs every day for now from 16 years to 20 years, drugs every day.
4 years?
Yes.
This the period of time when she's in high school?
She was kind of in and out of school because she could go, her lungs she has chest pains, she was kind of asthmatic.
Yeah.
So she was not regularly
In
going to school. Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
So she had, because most of the time she's at home or
Exactly,
in the hospital.
yes.
Ah,
Yes,
my
it was so
goodness.
tough for her.
So were you dealing with just one doctor, or you had many doctors? Were you seeking many opinions?
We sought an opinion from 2 chest specialists, which they said the same thing. Yeah, so we started, like now you see, and then we had a hard time because TB drugs were free. And then aspergillosis was so expensive.
Okay.
And you know, if she misses a dose, it's like now starting all over again.
Ah,
Yeah.
you can't
So she had,
continue.
no, if she had to continue.
Okay, okay.
Every day, every
Yeah.
day, every day.
Yeah.
And then also the insurance denied her cover. NHIF could not cover the drugs, so they only covered like for the CT scans, X-rays. So it was very draining, mentally, emotionally,
Yeah,
financially.
financially too.
So yeah, that's what we went through until she took her last breath.
So when all this was happening to her,
Yes.
what was her disposition like? Like, did she have hope she would get better, or was she giving up?
In a way, she kept saying God is there. So in a way, it's like she accepted, and then she became more peaceful because she was saying she's in pain every day. There's a day she spoke out and said, all this pain in one person. So you can imagine. And eventually, during the aspergillosis treatment, they damaged her nerves.
Ah.
So she wasn't walking.
At all?
She wasn't, her nerves were dead.
Okay.
So they killed her legs. She couldn't stand. She couldn't, even sitting itself. You could see when she's sitting, she's straining, even she's sweating, and then she slides, you know, like.
She just wants to lay down.
Yes.
Okay.
So she could only, there's nothing else, because her spine was also damaged. So it was so stressful.
When all of this was happening,
Yes.
how are the doctors explaining it?
They had prepared us for it, because they were like, even they told her to stop taking painkillers, because they were all like causing more damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we were just managing.
Wow.
Especially to make like her breathing, they gave her an inhaler. Like it was just managing, basically. There was no treatment for that.
And all this started from just a cough?
Imagine.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how was her younger sister?
Her younger
During
sister
that time?
she was very stressed. In fact, I used to get calls in schools, like she's not cooperating with other students. They find her staring around, like she's not there.
Yeah.
Because then she used to confide in me. She's like, every time she's in school, she's thinking about her sister. And when she's at home, she's helping out. There was a time she used to help me, like she's the one who used to help me carry her, wash her, voluntarily. So she used to wish like she's home, like helping me. Yeah?
Yes.
But at some point, we just had to move in with my sister because it was so hard for her. It was too much.
Yeah.
You can imagine, she's still an adult. Even she's also embarrassed of herself. Like using Pampers. You know, she was at that stage. So every time I'm changing her, she used to tell her sister, get out of the room, you know. So eventually my sister had to chip in because it was so tough for her little sister. Yeah.
And how are you managing, taking care of her, making sure her little sister is not feeling neglected?
Yes.
You know, you still have your business to take care of
Yes.
as well. How are you balancing all of that?
I had to balance, and at the same time I used to distract her sister because she has some talents. So most of the times I used to try not to be in the house. Because my sister now, when she took over to take care of her, I used to find some things to do for her little sister.
Okay.
Yeah, she does also some modeling, some runway. Then I involved her in some commercial modeling.
Okay.
So I used to find some distraction somehow.
Yeah.
But during the COVID time, it was the hardest because also she passed on during the first outbreak of COVID. You remember, 2020.
2020.
Yes, March.
When COVID had just started.
Exactly. So we had to be indoors. So I used to like make sure we are doing something, mostly TikTok, you know. You find so much
The
distraction.
videos, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I tried my best to balance my timing. I used to tell her, we're not forgetting, but we are accepting. Yeah, you know, there's a difference. Like you're
Yeah.
trying to make her forget.
Yeah.
And then you accept like your life has to move on.
Yeah.
So I try to be her strength and show her like, really, we really have to move on. Yeah.
Do you feel like the doctors did all they could for her?
Yes, I do. I do feel it. Because I don't want to start the blame game because it's not going to bring her back. Yeah. So basically you accept because she was also in acceptance and she had a relationship with God.
Yeah.
So she kept me, you know, I felt comfortable and at least at peace. So if her she's accepted, why shouldn't I accept? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So every single day for 4 years she was
Yes.
on medication.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So by the time she's being asked to extend her TB medication after 6 months,
Yes.
that was a misdiagnosis?
It was kind of a misdiagnosis because I think after the 6 months, we could have like opted for something else. I don't know. Because then they said it's a relapse and it's like she was resistant to the drugs.
Her body?
Yes. So they continued. And you know, we hadn't had the knowledge of all this.
Yeah.
So we were just following, you know, what they're telling us. So I wish, okay, I'm not wishing, okay, I would wish, of course,
Yeah,
that
of course,
we
yeah.
knew, and maybe it could have changed something.
So you came to know later?
We came to know much later.
Through a doctor or
through the chest specialist. Now after the 1 year duration, because still she was unwell.
Okay.
So after that, he was like, after the 6 months, she shouldn't have continued with the TB drugs. That's what they kept telling us.
So does it mean her doctor changed midway?
Not really, because you know they are from the government. You take from the TB. It's just like continuous. After the 6 months, they check again the chest, the X-ray, and still the sputum test.
Okay.
So they just said like she's resistant. Let's continue. So we just kept going and going and going. Yeah.
And then 6 months later,
Yes.
a different doctor is the one who said,
Yes, now even the government offices which prescribe the TB drugs, they're the ones who referred us to a chest specialist.
okay,
Yes, yeah, yes.
So now that specialist is the one who said they should not have extended it.
Yes.
Okay.
But it was too late. They
Yeah.
even said it's too late because they are damaged already. When you see even the CT scan, you just see black, like holes, you know. They're just filled with holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she able to eat during that time?
She was eating, but it was forced because there was no appetite. But she had to because the drugs at the same time were so strong.
Yeah.
They needed something like to hold the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a mother, what was this like for you that season?
I don't know. I was going through so much, but at the same time, I didn't have peace at that time. Because like there's a time she fell. We had gone to a supermarket with the auntie before the nerves died. Then she fell. She just fainted in the supermarket.
Okay.
So I used to have fear, like I'll get such phone calls. There's a time also we were in the house. I'm trying to wake her up. Her eyes are open. She's drooling. She's not waking up. You see such fear. So that time we rushed her to hospital. Then they injected her. When we realized she had diabetes. So she was brain dead somehow. So they had to inject, is it insulin?
Yeah.
So she was going through so
lot.
much. My mental state was very, very bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what was your coping mechanism?
I don't know. You see, at the same time, as a mother of two, you need to look at the other one. How is she? So I just had to be their strength in a way. This one, she just accepted she has to take drugs, and the other one, I had to look after also her mental state. So I had just to balance, because it could bring some depression in a way if you let it. Yeah. That's why I'm telling you the best thing is just to accept.
Yeah.
Because as much as people will talk, like some say at Inikurogwa, you're cast.
There are people who said that.
Yeah, they said that this is, even when you go to hospital, there's a time she was on supplements, we used to carry her on a wheelchair. So she had wounds around her legs everywhere. So the doctor was like, how is a 20-year-old having a disease of a 80-year-old? You know, you're like, wow, you know?
Yeah.
So as much as there's so much negativity and stigma,
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, you're just calm, like, you can't change it.
Yeah.
So you're like, even if people say it's a curse, is she coming back? So they might say as much that they want, but God's will is what was done. He did what he was supposed to. Yeah, because she was also close to him. So we're just counting on God.
Yeah.
Because of even she used to hold fellowships.
Really?
Yeah, she used to tell us 7 sharp, we're having fellowship, we're having Thanksgiving, what you're thankful for, quoting Bible verses. So it's like she even brought us closer to God, like
Really?
togetherness.
In your
So,
family?
Exactly. Now when we were staying with my sister and my other daughter,
Yeah.
she used to bring us together. So I was like, okay, that's the life she could have wanted, like,
Yeah.
you know, being peaceful,
Yeah.
being together in all this. So you just accept, basically.
I think that's powerful.
Exactly.
Like in that state, she was doing her best to give you guys strength.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a
and
way,
hope.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the songs she used to sing.
Which ones?
Mostly her favorite was that one, Spirit Lead Me. That one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
It used to be like when you listen to the words, they're
Yeah.
so deep. And then there's a time a pastor visited us. She was telling us, like, you know, there's a chair she used to lie down on. The pastor was like, you know, she's seeing God there. You're not seeing, but her, she's there, like with God. So it was all like so spiritual
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
How did it change your spiritual life as her mom?
I think basically it's just getting closer and trusting God more. Because there's a time I was bitter, but it wasn't doing me any good, you know? And then even when you're bitter, you're still not getting the answers. So in my lifetime, in that season, I went to YouTube channels, listening to people's stories. Then whichever, if it was curses, you just forgive people, you know? And then you let God avenge for you. You still don't lose your focus on God.
Yeah.
So all those things have been pushing me. And then being there for this other, I mean, she's still there. So
Yeah, the baby now.
I have to be there for her. Wow. Yes.
So March 2020, last year.
Yes.
So the week before she passed on.
Yes.
Did anyone have an idea that these are the last days?
Not really, but the strange thing that happened, you know, the spine, when it dies down here, your nerves die on the legs. So there's a time she said it's coming here to the neck, meaning maybe her nerves of the hands would have died, and maybe she would have been mentally retarded or something. So there's somebody who stated maybe I couldn't have coped with what was going to happen to her. Because she said now the pain has come here to the neck.
Okay.
And then there's a time she held my hand. It was so cold. I was like, hey. And then she kept saying, massage me. And she doesn't know where, because, you know, she can't feel pain. Her nerves are dead. So she became so restless, moving around, saying I'm sweating. Like, you know, like, I don't know. She wanted people to be closer.
Okay.
And then there's a time she told her sister, now it's not working. Just let me go. So her sister was trying to pull his
Fan.
to fan her. So she told her, just leave me alone. Like, it's not working. So basically she passed on in the house. Yeah, like at 6 a.m.
In the morning?
Yes, in the morning.
All of
it
you
was
were
on a
asleep?
Wednesday. Yeah, we were awake because we were not sleeping during that week. Yeah, that week she was so... She needed
Restless.
attention. She was calling out.
Okay.
But she doesn't know, like, what she's saying. So it's like she's not there already, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's another sister also who used to come to take communion with us. So it's like, you know, it's like for real, it was the Last Supper. Because she used to come with bread and juice. She's like, we take all together.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So that last week was very hectic.
Yeah.
So at the end of the time, she just took one last breath and went.
So at 6 a.m. on a Wednesday?
Yeah, on a Wednesday. Then we had to like get a burial permit. You remember it was the COVID time. We
Yeah.
had to get a burial permit. We had to rush to the police station. They brought, after the permit, now that's when the heirs came for the body.
So what was that like that morning?
I don't even know. It was so dead, you know, like you feel there's something missing.
Yeah.
It's so, everybody's quiet. Like I didn't cry in a way and nobody was screaming, but we just like kept quiet. I think everybody just stared, like you're like, what's really happened? As in,
You were all
really,
there with her,
yeah,
or
we were all there with
someone
her. My
called you?
sister, me, and the little one, and now my niece. She has a small daughter, so we were all there. She just took her last breath on that chair. So there, we had a little hope because there was still, she had a small pulse. We called for an ambulance before the heirs came. They came, they tried to resuscitate her, but of course it was in vain. So that's when he gave us the, what do you call it? Like confirming she's passed on. So that's when we had to get the burial permit, and then the heirs came for the body. We took it to the morgue. We buried her on Saturday, the same week.
What were her last words?
Not basically, she was just quiet. She was also staring in the air. But every day she just kept saying, God is there. So you actually knew that her walk was with God, because when she was well, she used to go for Christian retreats. That's where she wanted to be, because she was like, she's seeing God's, and she feels his presence and a lot of peace.
Yeah.
So every time I had Uwezo, because it's in Nakuru, I
Yeah.
used to give her some transport, then she goes there.
Yeah.
She stays there. You can't even use your phone, because now it's seeking
Oh, the
you.
prayer mountain?
No, it's a place called Wendo. It's a
Okay.
retreat. So you just go, you're quiet, no phones, no anything. Bible study, all those things. That was her walk, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just knew at least she's in a good place.
Yeah.
And then when we went to, like on that Saturday, I think it's on a Friday, we went to view her body again, because we had to buy a white dress.
Okay.
Yeah, so she looked
let's-
very peaceful.
Let's pause on that,
Okay.
because I want us to discuss that.
Okay.
And obviously the grieving process
Okay.
when we come back from the break,
Okay.
as you enjoy your
Sure.
refreshment.
Thank you.
Don't go too far. Maryanne Njambi shares the story of her precious daughter whom she lost in 2020. We'll be back and get to have some nuggets on how a single mom with a young baby left has to go through and navigate the grieving process in a bit. Welcome back. This is What's Your Story? We're at the Sarova Stanley. We thank the management for granting us this beautiful suite to film from. Stories from Maryanne Njambi, who reached out to me on Instagram, and I'm so grateful that you chose to share the story of your daughter.
Yeah,
we have established that, she went home to be the Lord on a Wednesday morning.
yes.
And you said you didn't even cry.
No, not really. I think it's the acceptance more. Because seeing her, especially in pain every day, is like now she's resting. You know, that acceptance. At a point I was bitter. I was like, I think I was wishing like I miscarried.
My God.
Instead of like being an adult, raising an adult,
Yeah.
your confidence, you're actually best friends, and you just see her going. But at the end of the day, when seeking stories, listening to people's stories, I was like, okay, it's God's will. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can unchange that, then that's fine. But since you can't change it,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do. Just accept and lead your own life. Because she had her own life, and she had her purpose. So we have to like seek ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, still, because we are still alive. So just seek your path, your own path.
What do you think her purpose was on earth?
I think it's to teach about love and forgiveness. Because even the friends she associated with at her age, they were like, how can you be so forgiving? She used to, like when people are fighting, she's like, she's the mediator. And then she taught people there's hope, there's, you know, there's love, learn to love one another like
Yeah.
us. Every time in that fellowship, she used to say like we seek for forgiveness. So I think her purpose was maybe to bring people closer to God or something. She wished to be a TB ambassador, but God didn't. God had other plans.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically maybe we'll be her voice with her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
you
her
never know.
name?
She was called Mobese Kashama.
Is she Kenyan? She was
She
called
was
who?
Congolese.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mobese.
Yeah, Mobese.
That's a
Yes.
beautiful name.
So you see, even her Instagram is still running.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's a time I used to look at it and I cry. I break down. I didn't want to see because she's posted some videos.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But these days I just look at it and smile. You know, those are some of the healing processes.
Yes.
I couldn't even open it. And then in her journey, still, it's like she was rushing to do everything. Her nails, she wanted us to go to CJ's, Nini, photo shoots. Like in October, funny enough, if you see her pictures, in October 2019, she was very healthy, but she was on steroids. So she was looking a bit pumped.
Okay.
So the problem started actually in December. The legs could
the
fold
nerves.
themselves, then she would fall down. So from December 2019 to March 2020, there we are. She stopped walking completely. Then she would break down a lot, but at the same time, she was like,
Her
okay,
faith was
this
still
is-
very
yeah,
strong.
It was very strong.
So you were telling me before we went on break about going to the mortuary,
Yes.
and what was that for you?
I think it was easier because we saw her taking her last breath. But the difference is you felt like she was sleeping. Because all her life, she never used to close her eyes when she was sleeping. Funny enough, she used to say like this.
All her life?
Yes.
Like
But
she sleeps with her eyes
yes,
open?
with her eyes open. You even do like, like on a serious note.
You're serious?
Yes.
I've never heard of anyone like
She
that.
used to sleep with her eyes open, really, literally. So in the coffin, her eyes were closed.
So now like
Yes.
that?
Although they were saying, is it embalming? Something like that.
Yeah.
They do
Oh,
in
they
the
had to
mortuary.
embalm, so that's how come they were now.
So for once, I saw her eyes closed.
Okay,
For
wait.
real.
Even as a child?
Yes. She
When-
used to sleep with her eyes open. That was her thing. Like, that's how you know this is Obese.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
She's the first one I've heard of like that.
Imagine, she used to, I don't know if it's a habit, maybe in the other side of the family, but I've never seen also.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you said that you needed to get her a white dress?
Yes, we a long white dress.
Okay.
Yes.
Any reasons, any particular reason
Okay,
why?
the dad side is they are Catholics.
Okay.
So they did that. They bought like these christening dresses, you know, the ones so they had to buy for her. Yeah. So we followed because we are very obedient people. But anyway, we had to do that. It looked actually better. Because if using even her old dresses, it could be odd.
Yeah.
So we just had to do everything. Her hair was combed.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So who was
basically-
doing that in the family? The people at the mortuary?
No, the
or-
people at the mortuary.
Okay.
Yeah, so as we went to see when she's ready, you know, the day before the burial, you confirm she's the one, whatever. Yeah, so that she was now ready on Saturday to be buried.
Was the dad involved during all of this?
Yeah, he was kind of
journey?
involved because actually we are not together, but he was playing a part. So he was in the UK actually. They couldn't travel. So the people who did there, you see, unfortunately, the people, his relatives here did all that. They prepared the grounds, they bought the dress. But him, he was just sent for videos and pictures. Actually, I just wrote a text, your daughter is no more. So you can imagine how hard it was for him. But later this year, was it in October, he came to do the memorial. Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
He came to do the memorial. He made the tomb. Is it to make
That
the grave?
stone?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
so at least I think that was at least a relief for him because he wasn't there during the funeral. Yeah.
But were they talking when she was unwell, when she was going through this season?
Yeah, they were communicating because she also had her phone. Yeah, so I used to let them have their, there's no need to come in between. Yeah, so yeah, they were talking.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's kudos really for you.
Yeah,
because
thank you so
most
much.
single mothers
Yes.
try very hard to separate their kids from their dads.
I don't see the need of that. Just play your part and both of you just do your obligations.
Yeah.
Then let there be peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even just that his family was there to represent him here
Yeah.
at a time when he couldn't travel.
Exactly.
That also speaks a lot about even his side of the family.
Yeah,
you
at
know.
least, yeah. Everybody did what they could, at least. Yeah.
So at what point, because what I know about mothers who've lost their children
Yes.
is this first the numbness and the shock
Yes.
before everything lands. And things don't land on the spot, you know,
Yes, yeah.
and they land, everyone has their own timing, but it's not an immediate thing.
Yes.
So even when you said you didn't cry that much that Wednesday morning, you know, it was like you're just going through the motions of making sure this is done.
Yes. I think it's an afterthought. Because I think I used to be the type of person, I'm like, you realize later. So I asked myself, oh, this is what death looks like. You know, like you realize, oh, by the way, we just buried her. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think I was also heading to depression. Then my little girl is the one who told me, Mom, do you know you have another daughter like her? So I was like, anyewe, you know, gather yourself up, like, it has happened, it has happened.
She told you?
Yes, she told me that. Mom, you know you have, because I was just staring in the air.
Yeah.
You know, the way you don't even want to wake up to look good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but you have me now, you know? So she also came to accept. She knows how death looks like. She accepted we are now the two of us. We are each other's strength. You know, such things. Yeah. And then sometimes I'm consoled. I don't know if I'm fooling myself, but there's a time she speaks like her sister. Now she's called Faith. There's a time her voice sounds like Mobese's. Then you're like, oh, she's still around, you know.
She's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if that's how it's going to be, we'll choose to, at the same time, you choose how to live. Because yes, we miss her, but she's not coming back. And then say maybe at the same time, maybe we needed a guardian angel. You never know the reasons.
Yeah.
Because you can't, exactly, and you can't ask him why all the time. You can choose how to lead your life, accept, be happy, find your own peace, because you'd also want us to be happy, because at the same time, we are not haunted. We still have the chair where she passed on.
It's still there?
Yeah, so there are no bad spirits. You know, the way you don't sleep, you don't have nightmares.
Yeah.
You're like, okay,
yeah,
we have peace. And she doesn't appear like she's haunting you in the dreams. So I'm like, okay, it's a good thing, basically, yeah.
What are the dark days like?
The dark days are mostly listening to her songs. She used to have, in her phone, there's some songs she used to have. So when you hear them, even on radio, like, wow, she used to like that. So sometimes you sit down, you keep quiet for a while, and then photos. She used to love photos. We have some pictures of her in the house. So seeing it, okay, it's sad. It's a reminder that she was there. That's the saddest moment for us all. Yeah.
Did you ever get the opportunity to really, I know grieving has its stages, but to really like weep your heart out?
I think there's a time I wept. I was even saying I won't go to the funeral.
Oh.
I really broke down, but my sister comforted me.
You didn't want to go for the funeral?
I didn't want to, because Yani, seeing your daughter going, Yani, being put, 6 feet under, you're like, that's my daughter, you know? So I don't know, I think I got the strength because of the support system. My sister insisted I go, and her sister was also ready to go. So I was like, okay, let's just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was so tough.
Yeah.
You know, you can't explain that feeling. I don't know, you can't say if it's emptiness or if it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't explain really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've read a parent should never have to bury their child.
Exactly.
It should be like the other way
around.
The
other way around.
Yeah.
She used to say even that mom will bury you. So you see, God had other plans. And then I learned not to plan. Okay, you can plan. Like today I'll wake up, I'll go there. But I think you shouldn't plan so much based on like 10 years from now.
Okay.
I've learned to just leave everything to God. So our prayer is that God comes and gets both of us.
The two of you, Faith
Yes,
and yourself?
yes.
Really?
She just says we die together or God comes, like.
The rapture happens?
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Because no one can stand when the other one is gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah?
So that's our prayer, basically. I hope it happens that way.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. Wow. What
Because,
is... Yeah,
you know,
'cause-
we're each other's rock. Eh? When she's breaking down, I comfort her when I'm breaking down, although I don't like showing it. Okay, I tell her, let's deal with our emotions. If you feel like crying, just cry. Why not? But let's just not be sad for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of Mobese would want us happy, basically. She was a happy soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last year, March was the first anniversary of her passing.
Yes.
Did it feel like a year?
Not really. It passed so fast.
Yeah?
Yeah, it didn't, it's flying so fast. Yeah, it didn't feel like a year, actually. Yeah.
And did her passing change the way you relate with her dad?
Okay, we don't talk anymore because
Okay.
she was the reason of us talking.
Yes.
So basically, it's just like a piece, like now we are done, like
Okay.
she's not there anymore, but he invited us for the memorial, maybe to be
Okay.
part of it.
Yeah.
But basically, I don't see a reason for communicating because he's also, remarried.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't
So you
think-
respect each other's
yes, privacy,
families. Okay.
yes, yeah.
So what was the grieving, what is, because I know grieving processes are different based
Yes.
on individuals. What was yours like, or what is yours like?
I think mine is just being happy.
In grieving,
Yes.
explain that to me.
Because somehow, when when you're sad, it shows everywhere,
Yeah.
from your face to your body language. So I just choose to, and when I'm happy, I feel like she's clapping for me. Yeah. So I want to transfer that happiness to my other daughter. Yeah. So basically, me, I think that's my mantra: being happy. Just choose to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you feel like dancing, dance. When you feel like if you see many of my pictures, I smile a lot,
Okay.
especially when
Okay.
I'm modeling, yeah?
Uh-huh.
So I call it a smile of resilience, perseverance. Like you can still be happy even after all the happenings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before you got there, what was that journey?
Now,
How did
actually,
it look?
funny enough, I was more sad when she was alive because of watching her just suffering every day. The drugs are not helping. She's just taking just to manage. You know she won't get better. Yeah. So the struggles of going to hospital. We used to go like regularly to see the chest specialist
Yeah.
when she was walking. And then the last days now, that's when now she had to be carried on a wheelchair. So even seeing her, like she's embarrassed to be seen, as in, it was killing her slowly. So it was worse when she was there because you're like, she's not even enjoying herself. Like she should, like at her age, she even opted to go off social media.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like negative energy for her.
Yeah.
There's a friend of her who asked her, you're not communicating, we can't see you, we can't see your posts. She told her, I'm not working. Then you know what the friend asked her, how can you just stop working?
My God.
You see?
The friend didn't know she's unwell?
No, you know now, instead of asking her, please tell me, she was...
like what happened?
Yeah, she was like, her response was so bad, like how can you just suddenly stop working, you know? So she found herself explaining herself most of it. Was draining also for her. Yeah, so that's her journey basically. It wasn't very easy for her.
So then for you, when the burial process was over,
Yes.
you felt like at least she's no longer in pain.
Yes.
She's resting.
Yes.
It was more like a relief.
Yes.
But
'Cause
still
even-
coupled with sadness.
Yeah, it mixed feelings.
Yes.
You know, that's how you can sum
Yes.
it up. Because when she took her last breath, it's like, Yani she's rested, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are literally saying she's resting.
Yeah.
There's no more pain.
Yes.
But every day she can't even turn herself. She can't, you know, you can
have to
imagine seeing her. She's just
a
talking,
teenager.
but her body is dead. You can imagine that. Yeah, so every day she used to like watch DVDs. She used to love stories. So she used to watch those, she used to listen. When she's not watching a movie, she's listening to gospel music or watching music.
Yeah.
So she used to just be somewhere like this.
Yeah.
Unless now it's time for now changing her, washing her. So you see, it's like just a dead body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
already.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you get any form of help or support in post her death?
Yes. Actually, our church intervened also.
Okay.
They were really there. They prayed for us, they contributed in a way. They made sure they checked on us. It was like spiritual all over, because even she had youth friends who used to check on us. The church was our stronghold.
Yeah.
Most of the times.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And now my sisters, and now my daughter, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, the support system was very strong at that time.
Does the wound ever heal completely?
No, it doesn't. There's still an emptiness. Especially when I see like her pictures. I have some pictures when she was a baby. Of course you remember those things. Like I actually gave birth to her. You know, I was a mother at some point. The memories will always be there. That's all we have left now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would you advise parents who have lost their kids?
I would just tell them to first accept, because we can't bring them back, and then just trust God, because He knows why. Basically, yeah, and choose just to move on. Yes.
Why did you want to share your story today?
Just to inspire others. Because you know somebody, I don't like the idea of people seeing you're just happy that everything is okay. So it's good to show them you can still be okay, even if you've lost somebody, even if you're going through something bad. You have your own life to live and choose how to live it, basically.
Yeah.
And that, of course, to heal more. Because I think she would also want me to be her strength and her voice. Yeah.
Do you feel people judge you harshly when they see you're happy and your life is moving on?
I think they do.
Okay.
They're like, how are you still happy? You know? There are all those questions.
Yeah?
But you're like, I mean, I'm living now my life now. And she would want that also.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a time she appeared in my dream and told me to be happy.
Oh,
She's
wow.
happy where she is.
Really?
So why not?
Wow.
Yeah, as I said, I don't know if I'm fooling myself, but
No, you're not. I've heard those stories as well.
yeah, she appeared. She's like, Mom, I'm not in pain anymore. I'm happy. Like a queen in the Bible. I don't remember the one she quoted, but she said she's happy. So I take those as a way, like choosing to be happy. Yes.
Do you still continue the fellowship that she used to insist you must have every?
We try our best, because now we are left with my daughter, my
Yeah.
13-year-old. We try to do fellowships and whatever, reading the Bible, praying. But you know, she's also a candidate, so most of the time it's school. She's comes late, she's studying, but we try our best. I wouldn't say we are perfect in that, but we try our best to be closer to God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it bother you in any way that some of the doctors who handled her case were not able to diagnose it correctly when they should have?
When maybe in the earlier days,
Okay.
but maybe the 4 years were a way to accept. Because if she died immediately after the TB, maybe there would be some bitterness. But in the 4 years, I was like, I'm not going to. Some people are saying that I start suing them. Then you're like, it's even more painful. How do you even start suing people? You just learn to let God to avenge. Yeah, so basically I never look at it like it's the doctor's fault, the blame game, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to be at that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I hear what you're saying, and
Yes.
I also understand those who want to take it as far as the legal process can go.
Yes.
But I also understand when you say that, you know, the whole court system, first the duration of time it will take,
Exactly.
proving something, the money, you know, and now constantly bringing up that name, her name. And
exactly. And it's not going to bring her back at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah.
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 If I was told this will bring her back, I would sue.
You'd be camping at the High Court.
Yes. But since it's not, just let go,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Let go.
Do you get paranoid when you see Faith getting ill?
Of course. Even not when she's ill. Sometimes I check if when she's sleeping, if she's still breathing.
Oh.
So it's left some trauma somehow. Yeah, but I always call her like, Faith. If she doesn't respond once, I go,
Yeah.
Faith, I peep, is she breathing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she sleeps with her eyes closed.
Yeah, how she sleeps with her eyes closed. But she always tell me, Mom, don't worry, we are dying together.
How she has decided you'll
She
go
has
the two of
decided we are going the two of us. So I'm like, when I'm checking on her,
Yeah.
that's what she says. I like, okay, I take that.
Oh,
I
my
accept
goodness.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think you were handed the blessing of first the 4 years were to prepare you.
Yes.
And also Mombasa was used to also prepare all of you.
Yes.
For her next level.
Yes.
And for her family to also know that I'll be leaving.
Exactly.
So it's almost as though she needed that time to bring you guys together.
I think so.
I think so. And also just that, especially the blessing of having to say goodbye to her on that Wednesday morning. Most people don't. Most people would have found her already gone.
True.
You know, and you start regretting, why weren't we
Exactly.
here? But
Yeah.
somehow you guys were all there
Exactly.
that Wednesday morning.
I know. And I find it also, it's like a grace. It's grace when you know you're going. Obviously, when you stop walking, you won't walk again. Okay, not in a bad way, but she was prepared, maybe even to repent if she had to repent.
Yes.
So I usually say, like, at least she didn't die in a road accident just suddenly.
Yeah.
So I was like, she was given the grace to have time to bond with God, to repent if she had to.
That's true.
So yeah, I take
That's
it.
true.
I take everything positively,
Yeah?
basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is lots of faith and strength that you have there, Maryanne.
Thank you.
That really is.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and also the fact that you took care of your girl. I mean, you did it yourself.
Yes.
And of course, your sister. And you didn't hire somebody to do it. That also speaks volumes as to just the mother that you are to her.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
Yeah. So for me, first, thank you for reaching out to share your story.
All right.
It's a sad story, but the takeout is also very powerful in that you have the way you have embraced and accepted Mobesa's life for what it was.
Yes.
And who knows what's in the future?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Who knows what lies in the future?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I'm manifesting a husband for you.
Amen.
Oh gosh. And so that Faith doesn't have to say you'll go the two of you together. So maybe that's the next step. Who knows?
Maybe you never know.
Yeah?
I'm prepared. Like it's God's will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let His will be done. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
It.
Yeah,
I really
sure.
appreciate it. And to you watching, asanteni sana. To any grieving parent, how can they reach out to you, by the way?
Okay, I'm on Instagram, Jams42. It's just NJAMBS42. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So anyone would want to reach out to Maryanne, if you just want someone to talk to, or if you're going through something similar to what she went through with her girl, Jams42 is her IG handle. You can get her on there. And you'll also find, we'll have tagged on our posts, so you can just also find her there. And it's always good to have someone to speak to. She had her church family, she had her sisters and her daughter. So don't go through this alone when there's people who want and can help. If you want to share your story, reach out. That's what she did. Our handles on Instagram is KTN Home _, same on Twitter, and on Facebook is KTN Home. My personal on Instagram and Twitter is @Kath Mwangi, and Facebook, Catherine Mwangi. I'm looking forward to listening to your stories, or at least first reading your story, then we determine whether you can come share it on the show. Until next week, thank you to Sarova Stanley for hosting us today. Take care of yourselves.
Sarova Stanley Hotel is located in the heart of Nairobi. Sarova Stanley is the hallmark of heritage. Home to some of Kenya's finest antiques and rich history, the hotel offers an array of services including accommodation, conferencing, as well as an eclectic mix of fine dining and quick food options. Sarova Stanley Hotel features a pool terrace and 3 restaurants, including the Pool Deck Restaurant serving alfresco buffet-style meals, the Thorntree Cafe, which is an open-air bistro-style cafe, and Tai Chi, offering authentic Thai cuisine. The Exchange Bar, where the Nairobi Stock Exchange was first launched, is an elegantly decadent plush lounge bar perfect for your meetings and a relaxing evening to unwind. Every Friday morning, we serve you the best of Swahili breakfast at Thorntree Cafe, while Saturday afternoon, we treat our guests to a sumptuous meat market brunch at Pool Deck Restaurant. Visit Sarova Stanley today for refreshing African hospitality.